When I think about organizing and developing the structure of an essay, I often think of nature and a fascinating phenomenon called fractals. Fractals are a repeating pattern, much like we find in a small leaf. When you look closely at a leaf, you'll notice tiny little repeating structures creating tiny little branches within the leaf. The closer you zoom in, the more little branches you see. The patterns are simple, yet elegant, and work together to create something amazing. And even more interesting and fascinating about this structure is just how versatile it is. Even when you zoom back out, you really see the power of fractals, and you'll notice that the structure of a leaf is not that different from the structure of a branch, and the structure of a branch is not all that different from the structure of a tree. Likewise, essays too share a similar form. And you can think of the format of an essay as a simple and familiar repeating pattern that can be expanded and shaped to suit any length of writing. Most essays follow a similar format and begin with an introduction, which moves from general to specific. The introduction can be broken into three major sections: the intro or hook, context, and the thesis, which is the driving force behind the essay. The job of the hook is to grab the reader's attention. Sometimes you'll do this with a question, a story, a startling statistic, or by correcting a misconception about a topic. For the context, here I usually ask myself, what does the reader need to know to understand the essay? This might be where I introduce key sources and definitions, as well as some of the key problems that I will address in my paper. For my thesis, I think about the central claim of my paper. This includes the topic, plus an argument, and will often include one or more key reasons X, Y, and Z. For some longer papers, I may not have just 3 reasons. I may have 5, 6, or more. So I may be a bit more general here and just give a general reason that will be broken down in more detail in the body of my paper. In the body of the paper, I can address each of my key reasons supporting my thesis in greater detail. For many short essays, I will often organize my main points into 3 body paragraphs, but I can add additional paragraphs as needed. Occasionally, for longer papers, I may add an additional paragraph after my introduction, before reason X, to explain background information to the reader, and I may also add a paragraph addressing a counter-argument after reason Z. There is no limit to the number of main points and paragraphs I can have here. For longer essays, instead of thinking of each main point as just one paragraph, I could even think of it as a section that could contain multiple paragraphs. Again, remember, fractals can branch out or zoom in infinitely. Zooming in at the level of the paragraph, I can also have 3 or more main points or reasons to support each of my claims of each of my paragraph's topic sentence. I can also bridge each section together with a short transitional statement so that the reader can follow my logic as I move to a new argument for my thesis. Often, I will do this by borrowing keywords from my previous section before introducing the new topic. For example, if I were writing a paper on the benefits of community college, I might have a transition in topic sentence like, not only are community colleges affordable, but community colleges also offer ample support for students. For my conclusion, I try to zoom back out. While I do think some form of summary is useful sometimes, I also try to think of the reader here and answer the question, so what? Why should the reader care? What are the larger implications of my essay if my thesis is true, and how do they impact the reader? That is, what do I want the reader to think, feel, or do after reading my essay? In addition, I may also make a recommendation. What are the next steps? Does more research need to be done on my topic? What emotions do I want the reader to leave the essay with? Finally, I ask myself, have I created a sense of closure for the essay? And does the essay feel complete?